Welcome back to Betty's channel, guys. She's doing the do as always. Please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe, drop a comment down below, tell us what you think about the channel. On today's episode, done that cupboard, so I need to establish where the next cupboard's going along, and to do that I need to put the bed back in place. To do that I need to have a tidy up, which is what I've been doing. Got to move all this plyboard around. Hey, it's a never-ending job. Anyway, thanks for tuning in and watch what happens next. Right, so the bed, I've just mocked up the bed now. I think I'm going to have to do a cutout in that cladding for the feet because we've lost a good inch and a half, because that should sit on top of that and it doesn't. So obviously I don't want to make the bed any smaller, so I think I'm going to have to use this recess. I'm going to have to recess it out. So I'm going to try and get some insulation for them 3 panels. Also, looking at the height of the bed to the cupboard, we're not going to be able to sit up in bed, so I'm going to have to lower the bed. Which is fine, because I said before, we don't need all the garage space. Because any bags of clothes we have, well, just going to go in the cupboards when I do them. So yeah, I'm quite happy lowering the bed, it's not a problem. But I didn't really want to lose that much. Should have thought about that. I mean, I could put a recess in that, but I think that'd be too much work. It's another lemon dilemma. I'll go and measure Betty's bed and see what the length of that is, and see if there's any wiggle room. I'll come back to you on that one. Right, I'm going to chop 20 centimetres off each leg, which will drop the top of the bed down to about there, which is the same height as Betty 1's bed at the minute, so there's plenty of room underneath to scrabble about and for storage, and then we'll be able to sit up. At the end of the day, it's only 4 pieces of wood I need to recut if it's wrong, but yeah, let's do that and see what it looks like. Right, so I've lowered the bed by 20 centimetres, which is the same height as what Betty 1's bed is now, and we've still got another inch extra than we had in Betty, because obviously it's a wider van, so I shouldn't need to do any cutouts. What I did do though was I put that piece of plywood between the leg and the van body, because that's going to be the electrical panel for the isolator switch, solar controller, fuse box, etc., which is going to go above. Also I'm going to basically covering the wheel arch, that bit, with ply, and that's going to be the like I said, the electric bits leading to the battery. So obviously I can still insulate all that. Above the bed there's going to be, there's going to be, I'm going to inset battens between there and there for the cladding to screw to. It's not obviously what I didn't do it there, because I put the battens on the outside of the panelling, so it came from the floor straight to the top. So we're gonna have even more space then if I infill the metal with battens, because I can do those Sikaflex on, no problem. I don't have to screw them to anything. Yeah, that would be better. I suppose I should have really done that on that side. But hey ho, you live and learn. I like that cupboard, it's nice. So yeah, right, so let's screw that down and then do the other 2. And then, like I said, storage space isn't an issue, because we're not having bikes underneath the bed, they're going up back at van. And we can sit up in bed, which is the best thing really. Because I can make a brew in the morning, I can make a shelf here in the door, or we can open the doors onto a beautiful Swiss lake. Who knows? But yeah, let's crack on. Right, that's the bed in position. It will be coming out again, obviously, because I need to do all the bits and pieces. It's a lot lower than it was, but like I said, the priority is being able to sit up in bed. Strange, I know, but it's nice to do it. You do it at home, so you might as well do it in a camper van. Still loads of room though underneath there. Lots of things going to need to add to it, like water tank, which will probably take up this space here, and there's still a lot left over because I know the batteries aren't going here, because in Betty they're here in front of the wheel arch, so that comes into, so in Betty 1 it comes into the storage space quite a bit. But with me putting them over there under some seating, got a bit more space for stuff, which is good. So put my plywood behind the leg and this leg, because I know I've just said that there's a piece of plywood which will come up to here, this line here, and then the cladding can start up to the top. So now I need to look at where the kitchen's going and some more top cupboards, because the cupboards above the kitchen are going to be slightly thinner. They're not going to stick out as far as that, because it's only going to be for food storage, mainly dry food storage. And the odd candle if we want a candlelit dinner. Well, it'll be candlelit tea, because we don't do dinner, it's tea. Lunchtime dinner, tea's tea. Right, currently working out the kitchen unit. That is the level of our kitchen worktop in the house, and that's 3 foot high, the top of it, which is plenty for doing your bits and pieces, you're washing up and you're prepping food or whatever. It's going to come out to probably the middle of the door, which is there, and there's going to be a fold up piece, I was just going to get a kitchen, like a cheap carcass, but I think I might end up building it myself. I think once I've done that, I can then determine how deep the next cupboard is, or cupboards along there even, because I don't want to be coming in and having to duck, really, through the side door. So I don't want anything you're going to bang your head on. So I might have to end the top cupboards in the middle, which will be about there, then have a gap, and then obviously that'll be that big cupboard. There's going to be shitloads of storage in here, just got to build it. Alright, let's crack on. Oh, doors. I was thinking them 3 for the kitchen cupboard, because I can put a shelf in the bigger one, perhaps have the waste water container, because it's just going to be a 10 litre waste container like I've got in Betty 1. But then there's drawers. Do we need drawers? I don't know, do we need drawers, people? Give us a comment, what do you think? Because we can always put like I mean, we've got 3 drawers in Betty at the minute that I made, and they've got pans, cups, plates, and a cutlery drawer. But I can always do a pull-out rack for the cutlery drawer. I don't know. I'll have to have a think. And the other thing is, do I want to access the wastewater container from outside or inside? Do I need to put that door on the end? But I can't put the door on the end because we're having a flip-up piece of worktop, aren't we? Yeah. And it's going to come to about here to give us plenty of worktop space. Oh, it's a lemon dilemma. It's not easy, this van building stuff, you know, especially when you're designing from scratch. But yeah, it's not going to be a professional job, but it's going to be my job. There you go. So, as you all know by now, I've got magpie syndrome. I just put a piece of cladding on the roof just to see what it will look like, and it's going to look ace, especially against the round doors. Cool. Right, crack up with something else now. Right, a little bit of thinking. And the control panel with the voltage meter and all the switches is going to go there. So I need a shed load of wires from the driver's, well, from the fuse box. It's going to run over the top of the roof through this rib. I'm going to be separated. So we need a wire for the control panel itself, 2 USB charging points which are going to go underneath this cupboard, some lights which are going to go underneath this cupboard. There's going to be some LEDs underneath the kitchen cupboard to shine on worktop. My wire for the pump for the tap, which is going to go under there somewhere. And I'm going to put an outside light as well. Yeah, so magpie syndrome strikes again. And I think that's it for today. I'll add to the video on my next working day. Right, today I'm going to focus on making a cupboard just above the kitchen unit when that's in, and I need to cut a piece of ply for the electric bits. So let's crack on with that. Right, I just sort of roughly measured where the wheel arch comes, so I'll cut that out now and see what happens. Right, that's a piece of plywood cut around the wheel arch. Not too shabby. And like I said before, I've not got the posh jigsaws and stuff or tables to cut it on, so I find it easier just to cut bits off at a time so you're not cutting off too much. And then if you have to keep, it takes you a bit longer and you have to keep cutting little bits off, it's not so bad, it's just a bit of time, that's all. But yeah, so that's going to carry the fuse box, the isolator, the solar controller, what else, all the bits and pieces. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to carpet it yet or not, because it's going to be underneath the bed, so I might not even bother. But it'd be nice to do it, but we'll see. So we'll just get the bed back on and just see what that looks like. Right, that's what it looks like with the bed in. And there's a bit of a gap between that leg there, but I can just put another piece of ply down the back of it. So all I've got to do now is screw the ply board to the van body, and then I can start to work out where the electrics are going. I still can't install the electrics yet really until I get the solar panels on, which I'm hoping is going to be in a couple of weeks, maybe a bit sooner, fingers crossed. And then the top of the ply will obviously be covered by the mattress, and then I can just well, I can start the cladding really on top of the ply just to go up to that top point. And then if I carpet where it doesn't meet, if I just carpet, bring the carpet in from this edge around the back to meet the ply, that should be good when I actually do the carpeting. Now there is, you can see that there, that's a 12 volt socket, like a cigarette lighter socket. So what I might do is I might strip that off and use the power to feed the beacon, the front beacon which is up there. It's a lot of wiring because it has to go from there all the way up the inside, across the top, and then across the rib, and then obviously it's got to go to a switch in the cab, which there's a switch there, I know that, but it's a lot of wiring. But I need to look under the dash really to see if I can find that wire that I mentioned previously, but we'll see. we're not there yet. Anyway, I've cut that piece of ply out, so I'm happy about that. Saved myself a bit of cladding as well. I'm still going to put the reflective barrier on the wheel arches and also build wheel arch boxes. So we're getting there, slowly. And I'm just starting to stick patterns on there now. With some Sikaflex and a big blob in the middle. Right, that's them buttons stuck on. I'm just taking one past the edge of the bed, but that's just in case, because that's going to be hidden by the shower cubicle anyway, which is going to go at the end of the bed up to the ceiling. So once they've stuck, I might have a look at the cladding, because I'm probably going to have to screw another batten on each one to bring it out a bit. Fingers crossed. Or yeah, I'm gonna have to, because of this curve here. This curves, so I'm gonna have to try and do something. Might have to put a piece, screw a piece lengthways. No, they need to be uprights. So I'm probably going to end up screwing more uprights to them once they've set, just to bring the level of the cladding out a bit. As long as it doesn't come past this curve, we're alright, because we're not going to lose any length in the bed then. Fingers crossed. I mean, if I have to put more buttons, then I will, you know, bring it out even more. It's just difficult because this side's the electric side, so I couldn't have done what I've done there. And if I did what I did there, I'd be losing a lot more length of the bed. So the bed's actually right then, which is good. It's in the right place. It's the right length for us both, because we're only short asses. What I might end up doing, I might end up dropping some cupboards down a bit lower than what they are, than what that is, I mean. So I've got more storage, but it also helps out with the loss of that space, because the shower cubicle is going to go to the ceiling. There's going to be like an end piece at the edge of the bed, so I can always, bit of jiggery poker anyway. Let's see. But yeah, happy with that. Right, looking at these offcuts of cladding, I think I am gonna have to screw another batten on each one just to bring it out, so it's level with that. And then when the cladding goes on there, I can have it flush to the metal. I can always put a batten on the inside there, screw to the metal. I think that's probably the best answer. Do that. I can do that all along the side then, because there's a window going there, so that's not going to be cladded over there. I can leave that blank, and then they'll be flush against that top rib, just to level that edge there, and then that'll be right. So yeah, if I can get the panel for the shower cubicle in, or the edging panel, I can then finish this edge off. This back bit's done then, just like that's done. Then I can look at doing the top cupboards. So yeah, let's do that. But that's our job obviously when that Sikaflex is set. As I said previously, van building is not an exact science, so I'm just having to shorten this cupboard a bit. Well, the shelf a bit, cupboard a bit. It'll be a cupboard eventually. Yay. taking shape now, that cupboard. I might have to leave that corner now until the next time, but yeah, I made a proper mess today. Just do a bit of tidying up. But yeah, proper impressed with that. Obviously I've recessed it in a bit from this cupboard because that's going to be, the kitchen worktop's going to be underneath that. But there's still going to be plenty of room to sort of cook and wash up and stuff, prepare food. So should be good. Cracking on. And Betty too, you're such a mess. Right, that's it for this video. I can't do much more until the Sikaflex is set on that top cupboard and these buttons I've put in there. So, as ever, thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe, drop a comment down below, tell us what you think. Overall, keep doing what you do. See you soon.